The Precision Rifle Series has been announced for 2021 in Australia, and we are about ready to get underway. But there's a bunch of questions about divisions, categories and classifications, and that's what we're going to tackle in this video. Let's kick off with division. Divisions is about equipment. And there's two divisions, open and production. Open division is pretty open. The only limitations are 30 cal maximum and 3,200 feet per second maximum as well. And that's it, use anything else you like. Production division is really designed for those guys who are starting out in the sport to put some price caps on the individual components. It also limits how much in terms of modifications you can do to the gun. The same two limitations apply for production division of 30 cal and 3,200 feet per second. For the rifle side of things in production, you have a price limit of $3,250. The rifle must be a factory rifle, and think of it in the way that you could walk into a gun shop and buy one off the shelf. As for your scope, you've got a price limit of $2,750. Now these prices are determined by averaging 3 advertised prices from Australian retailers. That should give you a pretty good indication of if you're under that limit, but if you are pushing right on that limit, check with PRS. Make sure you get the okay for it. It actually has nothing to do with how much you physically paid for the items. Accessories aren't generally limited in production division. You can put on arc rails and other bits and pieces, but check the rules before doing so. Modifications in production divisions aren't allowed, but there are a couple of exceptions, such as putting on a muzzle brake, or if your rifle only came with 3 or 5 shot magazines, you can change that floor plate out to accept 10 rounders. For full details on what is and isn't allowed in production division, check the rules under section 2.2. And now on to categories. Categories are year-long competitions that only get recognised at the PRS finale. Individual matches may not actually recognise the categories. There are 4 categories: active law enforcement / military, ladies category, seniors category over 50, and juniors category under 18. Qualifying in any of these categories does not exclude you from other divisions or classifications. We simply track the scores for those who qualify in the various categories, and there are invites out to the finale if you top out your category. At the finale, those categories will be recognised and awards given out. Which brings us to classifications. Classifications haven't been run in Australia yet. They were scheduled for the 2020 season, but we all know how that went. So for 2021, classifications are making their debut. Classifications is a performance-based system that runs over the year that will have you competing against those who are your shooting peers. There are 3 classifications: pro, semi-pro, and marksman. The top 20% of the leaderboard, they're going to be classed as pros. The next 35% looking at semi-pros for them, and the remaining 45% get classified as marksmen. I bet you're asking how you get classified. So classification happens just before the finale for the year. So if you shot in 2019, you posted 2 scores and were a member of PRS, you will have a classification. You can see that on the members area. If you didn't meet those requirements, or you're shooting your first PRS match this year, you come in as non-classified. That's no problem at all. You will shoot the season as non-classified. After the last regular match of the season, just before the finale, the entire leaderboard will be reclassified based on those percentages. At that point, if you've shot 2 matches and are a member of PRS, you will get a classification. And based on that, finale invites will go out. So whether you've shot really well for the year or really poorly, you'll end up into the finale with your scores counting for the classification based on your performance. Hopefully that has answered a bunch of your questions about divisions, categories and classifications for the 2021 PRS season in Australia. If you have any questions, throw them in the comments and we'll see you at a PRS match soon. Then we go to the 500.